Hello and welcome back to our Sydney Proactive studio. I'm Karen Tan. Let's go west now though to talk to Sean Gregory. He's the Managing Director and CEO of Barra Resources. Hello Sean, nice to speak to you and to see you over there.
Yes, good morning Karen. Good to be here.
Lovely to see you, and we've got lots of good news for your company today. Let's start off with a positive scoping study results out today for the Burbanks Gold Project near Coolgardie in WA. Can you tell us the highlights of the study and the results? How did they fare?
Yes, look, Burbanks is one of our main projects. It's one of our gold projects near Coolgardie, and it's a project with a long history of gold production. Over 420,000 ounces of high-grade gold have been mined out of there over the last 130 years or so. We've just completed our scoping study on that project, which really vindicates the exploration that we've been doing there over the last couple of years. We were investing in gold perhaps before it was the hot commodity, before it spiked, and now we're reaping the rewards of that in terms of seeing the scoping study and seeing how we can potentially commercialise some of those ounces.
And the timing couldn't be better with all these wordies of gold, gold, gold at the moment, so well done. What does the completed study now mean for the company in terms of strategy and also cash flow?
Yeah, so it gives us a number of options. There's certainly the opportunity for us to go gold mining in the near term. In fact, because of the existing infrastructure on site, the nearby toll milling operations, the nearby town of Coolgardie with all of the infrastructure in place, and indeed with a granted mining lease, certainly mining mid next year is a possibility for the company. We now need to weigh that up in terms of the options there to generate a few $1 million of cash flow versus the opportunity to grow this into its true potential to something much bigger. We're starting off with some drilling just next month. We're going to, based on what we've learned here, we now know that we're onto a winner, that this thing is potentially economic. And based on that, that gives us the confidence to launch into our aggressive drilling program. So we'll be putting 5,000 metres of drilling into the deposit just next month. So we're pretty excited about what could turn up in that drilling campaign.
Very exciting. You partly answered my next question, which was going to be what do the results tell you about the potential for that project in the region, because the region seems quite rich.
Yeah, look, it is worth touching on that because look, the Coolgardie goldfield has a long history. Look, it was actually the mother of the goldfields. Before the gold was discovered in Kalgoorlie, it was discovered in Coolgardie. And it's got a long history of very high-grade gold mines there. And it's rightly garnering a bit of attention in recent times. There's a number of merger and acquisitions on nearby. Indeed, there's a lot of toll mills around. And so there's a lot of activity in the region. And we'll just see what that means for Barra. And when the time is right, there might be opportunities for Barra to participate in that space.
Sounds good. And so what are the next steps and immediate focus for the company? Are you going to continue with Barra's dual commodity focus that you're known for?
Yes, look, absolutely. I think this has really vindicated Barra's dual commodity strategy. Perhaps a couple of years ago when cobalt was the hot commodity, a lot of people were encouraging us to spin off the gold, but we kept investing in the gold and now we're seeing results from that. And similarly, even though cobalt has come off in recent times, we're continuing to invest very strongly into our cobalt asset at Mount Thirsty. And that's because we've got a view that the cobalt commodity price is going to bounce back very, very strongly. And it's a view that many others share. Indeed, Citibank just published the last couple of weeks an updated forecast where they're forecasting a doubling of the cobalt price. And we think Mount Thirsty is absolutely right to be the solution to the world's needs for cobalt for electric vehicle batteries.
Well, sounds like Barra's in a good position then. Just back on the Mount Thirsty cobalt nickel project near Norseman, any other updates for that project?
Yes, look, we're progressing our pre-feasibility study. Look, I think if we published the pre-feasibility study a couple of months ago when cobalt prices were down, we wouldn't have got much love. But just in the last month, we've seen cobalt prices bounce back 40%. And as I mentioned, there are some people forecasting that they'll double again. So it's full steam ahead on the pre-feasibility study, and we're working very hard to deliver that study as soon as we can. And we think delivering that study into what we see as a rising commodity price environment, and indeed with a lot of our potential partners saying that the pre-feasibility study is their minimum investment criteria, we think it's absolutely the time is right to invest full steam ahead on that cobalt project and deliver that study.
And as far as funding goes, I believe you've got a share purchase plan underway. Can you tell us the details of that, please?
Yes, very happy to. Look, it's great timing for this video. All of this news tends to sort of culminate in a bit of a crescendo. So great news on the gold project, great environment for cobalt pricing, and indeed now we're raising money. We've got the confidence to raise money to fund that work. So we've announced a share purchase plan. Now it's for $1.25 million, which will be sufficient to complete the pre-feasibility study for Mount Thirsty and execute that drilling program at Burbanks that we spoke about. Shareholders will have the option to top up their holdings at what we see at very cheap prices, and to take up anywhere between $1,000 and $30,000 worth of shares to top up their holding. And look, we'll be engaging with our shareholders over the next few months, and certainly welcome direct approaches. Our door's always open, my phone's always available, keen to talk to shareholders and whatever they need to know to get on board and support us in this next chapter of the Barra journey.
Very exciting chapter by the sounds too. Very positive update. Congratulations and good luck with it, and keep in touch with us. Let us know how it's all going.
Great. Thanks very much. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. That's Sean Gregory from Barra Resources.